I am very upset because the best story in my opinion in college football, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets just suffered their first loss this season, and now they're the 16th ranked team in the nation. No, man. They just gotta win out. They just gotta win out now. But welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope everyone had a happy Halloween. I had definitely a fun one. It is week 11 of the college football season, and things are starting to get a little shaky. It was a lot of upsets, a lot of unexpected outcomes. I still ended with a winning record. I went 11-6 this weekend, which brings my all-time record to 104-38. That's a crazy record. Again, I'm still striving for a perfect week, so let's see if we can get it this week. Some big predictions I got correct were Texas Tech got a big win against Kansas State on the road. That was close at the beginning, but then Texas Tech pulled away. And USC won in Lincoln, Nebraska. I know Dylan Raiola came out with an injury, but it was still insanely close, and USC came out with the dub. Congrats to some teams that proved me wrong. NC State, that one stings. Texas beat Vanderbilt. It was a blowout for most of the game. SMU upset Miami. What happened to Miami? I'll go more into them later when I get to their game. Oklahoma beat Tennessee in Neyland. That was crazy. Utah beat the brakes off Cincinnati, and West Virginia beat 22-ranked Houston. A lot of teams have bye weeks this week. Number 11, Oklahoma. Number 13, Texas. Number 16, Georgia Tech. Number 17, Utah. Number 21, Michigan. Number 23, Tennessee. And number 25, Cincinnati. So those are the teams that have byes. Let's hop right into it. Okay, let's get into it. The number one state, Ohio State Buckeyes, are on the road to Purdue to take on the Boilermakers, who are 2-7. This game should be a blowout. Ohio State, just keep doing what you're doing. Also, fix some of the first half issues. Again, Penn State was able to keep it close with Ohio State in the first half. Again, Penn State was playing with all their heart. I get that. But Ohio State, they should not be only winning by 3 to an unranked opponent, especially at home. For Purdue, I would say whatever you did against Michigan, do the same thing you did here. You kept it very close with Michigan. You definitely had chances to win. But, if you do the same thing, you definitely have a chance. I don't think they will. Give me the Buckeyes, 52-7. Moving on, it is the Indiana Hoosiers, the 2 seed, on the road to Happy Valley to take on the Penn State Nittany Lions, who are now 3-5. For Indiana, don't let this team keep it close. I know Penn State does have a good defense, and they have a strong running game, so don't allow them to do whatever they want to do, or else this could be a very bad week. For Penn State, you need to get some hope back into your season. You came into this season with such high hopes. You guys were the 2 seed in the preseason. You guys are 3-5. You guys haven't beat a Power 4 team. It has to come at some point. I don't think it's gonna come this week. Give me the Hoosiers, 45-20. And this one, it would have been better if Missouri's quarterback was starting. It is the number 3 ranked Texas A&M on the road to take on number 19 Missouri, who is 6-2. For Texas A&M, do what you did to Missouri, what you did to LSU, because I feel like LSU and Missouri are very, very similar in some aspects. Strong defense, kind of a weaker offense, but some flashes of greatness. Texas A&M, they can't keep up with you. They can't. No team has been able to keep up with you so far. So keep doing what you're doing. For Missouri, you need to hold Texas A&M to less than 25 points if you want a chance. You can either do that, which no one has been able to do, or you can score 40 points. Because Texas A&M, I think, averages like 40 points. I think your best chance is to hold them less than 25, especially because you have such a good defense. I don't think they will. Give me Texas A&M, 45-21. Okay, moving on. It is the LSU Fighting Tigers, who are 5-3 on the road to Tuscaloosa to take on the Crimson Tide, who are 7-1. They're the 4th seed, of course. I think this game is going to be a lot closer than people think. I'm pretty sure people think that Alabama's just going to blow them out. Remember, this is still a rivalry. There's still hatred between these two teams, so I think it's going to be close. LSU needs to execute on offense. They need to score points. Something must awaken in them. Of course, Brian Kelly being gone is, it's going to leave a hole in that team, but I feel like they'll bounce back because of it. Again, for Alabama, what I've said, this is still going to be a battle. Don't overlook them. This is a statement game. I think LSU is going to keep it close, but I think Alabama, of course, is going to pull away in the second half. Give me the Crimson Tide, 28-24. Next game up, it is another SEC matchup. It is the number 5 seed Georgia Bulldogs, the team that will not die. They're on the road to take on Mississippi State, who is 5-4. For Georgia, your defense needs to have a good day. Mississippi State, I feel like, is good at one thing and one thing only, and that is offense. They can score the ball. If you've seen some of their games, they can score. So, if your defense needs to lock in, because you don't want to have another shootout if you don't have to. You also have to win convincingly. The amount of times Georgia has done, they did this last season, and they're doing it this season, where they are down pretty much the whole game, and then they come back and they win. It's good that you play all 60 minutes, but man, it does not make you look that convincing unless it is a good team, of course. But you guys should not be in a dogfight with Florida, who's unranked. Also, catch the ball. I was watching a game against Florida, and why did I have to look at Gunnar Stockton throw the ball, and his tight end can't catch it, and it ends in an interception? Catch the ball, Georgia. For Mississippi State, you have a chance to build off the win you got last week. They got their first SEC win last week against Arkansas. I think by a literal miracle. It was insane. Score tons of points at Mississippi State. Let your offense have a day. You need to have that amazing performance. I do think they score points, but I think Georgia is just way far more talented. Give me the Bulldogs, 34-24. Next game on the list, it is a Big Ten matchup, and this one's kind of a sleeper game. Watch out for this one. I'll definitely be watching it. It is the number 6 Oregon Ducks, who are 7-1, on the road to take on the Iowa Hawkeyes, and Iowa's 6-2. Their only losses are to Indiana by 5. Yeah, it was like 15-20. And I think their second loss was to okay, I found it. It was Iowa State that lost to them by 3. So they have only lost to a very good Big 12 team who's competitive and the number 2 team in the country. And they've been blowing teams out as of recent. They blew out Minnesota, who I think is solid. They killed Wisconsin. They beat Penn State. Like, this Iowa team, they're getting better as the year goes on. So Oregon, look out. This isn't going to be the easiest win in the world. For Oregon, get ready for everything. I feel like Iowa's going to bring 110% of effort and energy into this game because they need this win. They need it. They only have one loss in the Big Ten. So if they could get this, they knock off Oregon. Oregon, if they lose, they'll have 2 losses in the Big Ten. That's not good enough to make the Big Ten championship. Also, your play calling has to be aggressive. Don't let it be another Indiana game. That's just disasterful. Don't do that. For Iowa, this is the chance to prove yourself to the rest of the Big Ten. Everyone looks at Iowa, to be honest. Well, the competitive teams like Ohio State, Michigan, Oregon, Penn State, if they're competitive, they see you guys as kind of a joke, to be honest. Like, they try to be tough, but they're not. But this is your chance. You have to score points. Oregon still has that high-flying offense when their play calling is more aggressive. And their quarterback, I know his last name's Gronowski. So Gronowski, he needs a legacy game. He needs to have at least 200 yards passing if you guys want a chance. I do think this game is going to be really, really low scoring. But I think Oregon prevails on the road. Give me the Ducks, 20-12. Okay, coming up next, we have Ole Miss at home, the 7th seed, who is 8-1. They're facing off against Citadel. Citadel's 4-5. I don't know what to say about Citadel. I literally don't know anyone on the roster. So for Ole Miss, this is a stat pad game. Get ready for the final 2 weeks of the season. Give me the Ole Miss Rebels, 63-3. Next game up. This is a big time battle, and I was questioning this game for so long. It was like 30 minutes. BYU, the 8th ranked BYU Cougars, undefeated, on the road to Lubbock, Texas, to take on the Red Raiders, the 9th seed, who is 8-1. I believe game day is going to be in Lubbock, Texas, so that is good fun. Baron Morton, I believe, is going to be the quarterback for Texas Tech. He had an amazing day against Kansas State, and now he's going to be thrown. It's the number 1 seed in the Big 12 versus the number 2 seed in the Big 12, so it's a big game. I think, really, these two teams, of course, no team is perfect. These teams have little to minimal flaws. So, and I do think they're very similar. They're both good at defense. They both, even though I think Texas Tech defense is better, I think BYU has a better offense, though, than Texas Tech. So it's very interesting. It's more like BYU's offense versus Texas Tech's defense. I think this is just the battle of who wants it more. Who wants to control the Big 12? Because these are the 1 and 2 seed. This is the 1 and 2 seed. Who wants to control the Big 12? Who wants to control their own destiny and make it to the college football playoff? For BYU, your defense needs to be on point. Texas Tech still scores a lot of points, but I've seen them when they're bad. I was at the Arizona State game, so if you could force them to have a game like that, you have a good chance of winning this game. For Texas Tech, your play calling needs to be aggressive, of course. BYU has found ways to win out of nowhere, so you got to be ready for everything. I don't think there's a legitimate reason to not choose BYU, so give me the Cougars to win a close one, 40-39. Next game on the list, it is Navy coming off their first loss of the season. They're on the road to South Bend to take on the 10th ranked Notre Dame Fighting Irish, who is 6-2, and they kind of had a close one with Boston College. They only won by like 12. It was a one-score game for a while. Notre Dame did not look good. For Navy, you need a bounce-back game. I forgot who they lost to. I think it was North Texas, maybe? I don't know. I could take a look in a sec. But, you need a bounce-back win. Get up in the American Conference standings, have a chance at that. For Notre Dame, you need a better performance. Are you guys kidding me? Come on. You cannot be keeping it close with 1-8 Boston College. Kill this team. This is a wake-up call. Give me the Irish 52-17. Okay, next up on the list is the ACC conference matchup. It is the Wake Forest Demon Deacons. Is that what they're called? I actually don't know. They're on the road to take on the 12th seed Virginia Cavaliers, who are 8-1. Virginia, they came off a win against Cal, I think, and they won by 10. That game was kind of close. For Wake Forest, you got to bounce back from last week. They just got killed by Florida State. You have to keep up with Virginia's scoring. Virginia does score a lot of points. If you can keep up with the scoring, you're in the game. Pretty simple. For Virginia, don't fall for the trap. Georgia Tech almost fell for the trap against Wake Forest. Don't you dare fall for the trap. I really like you guys. Keep your ceiling high. I believe you guys have a really high ceiling. Wake Forest does not have that high of a ceiling. So let's keep it that way. Give me the Cavaliers 28-23. Next game on the board, another ACC matchup. It is Cal, who is 5-4, on the road to take on Louisville, the 14th seed, who is 7-1. And Louisville, they were down 16 to Virginia Tech or something like that. Guys, seriously? Virginia Tech? For Cal, you got to keep it close, like Virginia Tech did against Louisville, of course. And also, no turnovers. I've said this whenever a team plays Louisville. Louisville gets a ton of interceptions. No turnovers, please. For Louisville, of course, get a better performance than last week. I do think they'll perform better. Give me Louisville 45-28. Okay, another game here. It is an SEC matchup with the Auburn Tigers, who are coming off probably the worst performance I have ever seen, at least offensively. They're on the road to take on the 15th seeded Vanderbilt, who just came off their second loss of the year to Texas. For Auburn, I really only have one thing written for you guys. So you have to score points. You guys scored 3 to Kentucky. 3 points. What are we doing? 3. Vanderbilt wins 30-10. I shouldn't. Whatever. Okay, final 4 games on the list here. This is kind of a short weekend. It is 3-6 Syracuse on the road to take on the number 18 seed Miami, who are coming off their second loss. Let me talk about Miami. What happened to you guys? It just feels like a few short weeks ago, you guys were the 2 seed, and people were arguing to me that Miami was better than Ohio State. What happened? You have Carson Beck blaming coaches. You have the coaches blaming Carson Beck. What is going on? This is not the Miami I saw back in week 7. Week 7 Miami was a team that I feared. I saw Ohio State Miami go into the national championship in a dogfight. Now I don't see Miami at all. I don't see Miami in the college football playoff. I do think they'll win against Syracuse because Syracuse is bad. Give me Miami 45-21, but seriously, Miami, get it together. No Big Ten matchup here. It is Northwestern, who is 5-3 on the road to the West Coast to take on the number 20th seed USC, who is 6-2. Northwestern is not a bad opponent. For Northwestern, you have to keep up with USC scoring. USC scores a lot of points, and you have to win in the trenches. Northwestern, you have a good run defense and a good run offense. If you can win the trenches, you'll control the possession, the time possession of the game, and that gives you a good chance of winning. And of course, the pieces have to fall correctly. For USC, you have to win the run game. Northwestern is very good at running, run defense and run offense, so you have to figure out a way to win that battle. Also, flex your receiver talent. I don't think there's a corner on Northwestern's roster that could guard Makai Lemon or Jacoby Lane. So throw that thing up to him, Jade Mayaba. Give me the Trojans 38-27. All right, this is an American Conference matchup. It is Tulane on the road to take on Memphis. Tulane is 6-2. Memphis is 8-1. This is a big one for the American Conference. This is a big matchup. Tulane, you need a bounce back. They lost to UTSA, I believe. Also, your defense needs to step up. If you're allowing 48 points to UTSA, imagine what Memphis is going to do, especially at home. So you need to lock in. Memphis, don't overlook them. Jake Retzlaff still knows how to throw a decent football, and Tulane does score a lot of points. Memphis, if you play your best, they cannot beat you. Okay? And I do think Memphis is going to play very well. Give me the Tigers 35-34. Okay, last game on the list here, and man, the college football season. We are coming close to the end, and I'm feeling really sad about it. It is number 24, the Washington Huskies, who are 6-2. They're finally in the top 25. Good to see Washington there. They're on the road to Madison, Wisconsin, to take on the Badgers, who are 2-6. Washington beat them senseless. Seriously, Damond Williams should have over 100 passing and over 100 rushing yards. Are you kidding me? Denzel Boston should have 3 receiving touchdowns. Are we serious? Wisconsin, they're a dead program at this point. Their season's over. I don't know what to say. Give me the Huskies 35-10. And that will be the end, folks. That is another week of college football predictions down. Hopefully, I get every single one correct. But, I am not perfect. But as always, thank you for watching me. And as always, be safe, folks.